Shalom, everyone. Peace of the Lord to all of you. I hope my voice came in good from your side. Please invite your friends and let us do the good work for tonight. Now, tomorrow is election day, but we did what we can do. And I hope people they listen and they will go to vote tomorrow. And we pray that tomorrow we will have a good news. But we do our best. So don't forget tomorrow to go and vote. It's very important, let us see here. All right. Do we have any Muslim in Discord? We are live in Rumble and in YouTube and in Discord. So if there is anyone who would like to join us, he's a Muslim, please feel free. I will be happy to have you. Before we start, as you know, I wanted to go and make channels in different languages, but after testing this AI thing, I found it is useless. It doesn't really work properly, and it cannot be used. Like maybe in the future, if they fix it, maybe we can use it. So if there is anyone who would like to volunteer to be my assistant, to be translator, like in Indonesian language, then we can do it. But this person have to be consistent, and I prefer if you don't live in Indonesia, so his life will not be in danger. If you live in Indonesia, you will not have a problem. So if there is any who would like to volunteer, let me know. All right, you can contact me in Patreon or even in Skype or here in Discord. All right, so if you are interested, let me know. This way we can make a day, a week maybe, for people who they are Indonesian, speak Indonesian, and we will have a translator. I believe this is the best way to do it, but way better than the AI. The AI, it's just a machine. Sometimes doesn't even take the word correctly. And as long we will use it over a microphone and speakers, it might not work too. So I prefer if there is somebody volunteer to help me. Yeah, actually, I bought a phone for that, a Google Pixel, hoping that this thing will be really good, but it it's not really. When you see it in the advertising, you will think it would do magic. When you buy it and you have it in your hand and you try it, you find it's not what they say. So anyway, let us start today with something very simple, just to show you how Islam is a fallacy. Italian translator, yeah, if you like, we can make an Italian channel, but we want somebody to be consistent, and he make a promise and he keep his promise. Like, no, you don't come once and you don't come again. You know what I mean? Like, I cannot open an Italian channel, go live today, and then next week I cannot go. Why? Because you did not show up. You know what I mean? We need somebody is passionate about doing this, and they do what I do. I mean, as you see, and for sure we will keep doing the most videos in English, but we will make channels for different languages, and maybe we make maybe once a week in Italian, once a week in Indonesian, etc. All right. I don't know if we have a Muslim here want to join us. Are you a Muslim, Didi?
Yeah.
You are a Muslim?
Mm-hmm. And Deej just debunked you, like totally.
Really? Who's
Yeah.
that?
Who's Deez?
Who?
Deez debunked you.
These?
Deez nuts.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. By the way, I mean, you just showed us that Islam is so powerful. I mean, look how silly, how stupid they are. I mean, Don't forget to bring your mom and your dad here, huh? Anyway, today I want to show you something new. Actually, I just made a title, and I don't prepare for anything. Uh, and then I said which video I can play to show people how stupid Islam is. And then, as you know, like I type Sheikh Asim, Sheikh Asim, and I found this. Let me share with you, and let us share the screen with people in Discord. Is my screen showing, guys, in Discord? This is Sheikh Asim, consulting season, 110 US dollar. It was, by the way, it was $100 before, if you remember. The price is increasing for half hour. $110 for half hour consultation. I mean, come on, inflation. He is doing charity. Look, he's a man of God. How much money I should charge you guys? How many hours I stay with you always? Anyway, nobody appreciate. So a Muslim kid, young man, he contacted the sheikh, and he have a question about marriage. So simply, he asked the sheikh. He told him that when he marry a girl, he told her like he put a condition that the girl he want to marry, she must be a virgin, for he is a virgin too. But look like the word virgin in Islam is used wrongly.
Marriage because recently I got married, and one of my requirements was that
Is the sound clear?
the one that I'm getting married to is a Muslim that prays and is a virgin like me. And some weeks now after marriage, I found out that she never was a virgin, and she have done it with multiple guys before me. Will I be sinful if I leave her? And is it
Multiple guys. She wear hijab, she pray to Allah, but and he found out that she have multiple guys do boom boom with her. Okay, and now, so is it sinful if you leave her?
Is it wrong for me to leave her?
How did you come to know?
She told me myself.
Out of the blue, or you interrogated her or insisted on her, or please tell me, I'm not going to be angry. Yani, let's be transparent. And
No, I didn't do that, but I remember she asked me what's one of the things you like about me, and I told her I like that you are clean just like me. You know, I never interrogated her or pushed.
The volume is very low in YouTube. The volume is low. Oh, well, I cannot make it higher than this. Okay, let me play it again.
interrogated her or insisted on
Is the
her,
sound better
or
now?
please tell me, I'm not going to be angry. Yani, let's be transparent. And
No, I didn't do that, but I remember she asked me what's one of the things you like about me, and I told her I like that you are clean just like me. You know, I never interrogated her or pushed her to tell me.
okay, first of all, this is a problem not a lot of the men face, unfortunately, or fortunately, but some may. And we've stated this so many times, and we got a lot of hate mail because of this. When we say, Akhi, when you repent to Allah and you conceal what Allah has concealed, it is sinful. There's no way out of it. There's no doubt among any scholar of Islam. They all agree that it is not permissible to disclose your previous sins that you've repented from. So if a man was a playboy, spending his time between Monte Carlo, Nice, Cannes, and casinos in Las Vegas, and all of a sudden he repented to Allah Azza wa Jal, and he started growing a beard and acting like a proper Muslim. Once he proposes, is he obliged to tell anyone? The answer is no, it's not. He's obliged, he's prohibited from telling anyone. After marriage, he feels so close to his wife, he wants to confess. It is totally prohibited. If you do, you're sinful, Allah will not forgive your sins. Because this is the hadith. Likewise for a woman. So one says, but Sheikh, I'm a virgin, I want to marry a virgin girl. Well, the definition of virgin in
So let us stop here first. Did you hear what he said? A Muslim woman or a Muslim man should not disclose what he did previously. So she lied to him that she is a virgin and she is doing the right thing. Same for a Muslim man. He was a playboy, sleeping with everybody in his way. Well, he should not tell what he had done. So the women, the Muslim women, she wear hijab, she sleep with 1,000 men, but she is not a sinful person if she refused to tell her previous and she claimed to be a virgin. Now this guy here, he did not even find out that she is not a virgin, because obviously the Muslim women, what they do after they have sex, they go to the clinic and they do a very simple surgery. It's called virgin again, and that's it, she's virgin. Or they use a Chinese product which she insert in her private part. It's like a case of something look like blood, look like a real blood, and when he have intercourse with her, that thing will break and she will act like she is in pain, and that means she is a virgin. And the guy now is happy, his wife, she's a virgin. But as you see, Muslim women, they sleep with multi partners, and they are not sinners if they hide that from the future husband. Same for the man. But here you will notice something else he will say is more scary and more stupid. What even a virgin? Muslims, when they speak about a wife, she is a virgin. Virgin in Islam does not mean nobody opened her private part yet. No. Listen what is virgin.
So one says, but Sheikh, I'm a virgin, I want to marry a virgin girl. Well, the definition of virgin in Islam is a woman who's not married. In a marriage contract, we have bikr and thayyib, a virgin and someone who was previously married.
See?
So a virgin is a one who did not marry before. We do not disclose whether she was engaged in premarital relationships and had one or multiple boyfriends. This is
Did you hear it? Guys, did you hear it? A Muslim woman, when she says she is a virgin, does not mean, as you see, she might be having a multiple boyfriend. Multiple. So when a Muslim woman, she says she is a virgin, she don't mean that she did not have sex before. When a Muslim woman, she is a virgin, that means she did not get married before. Do you see it? So any Muslim woman, she never get married before. It doesn't matter how many thousand men she sleep with. She's a virgin. Listen carefully. It's not you saying that. Listen carefully.
Wants to confess, it is totally prohibited. If you do, you're sinful, Allah will not forgive your sins. Because this is the hadith. Likewise for a woman. So one says, but Sheikh, I'm a virgin, I want to marry a virgin girl. Well, the definition of virgin in Islam is a woman who's not married. In a marriage contract, we have bikr and thayyib, a virgin and someone who was previously married. So a virgin is a one who did not marry before. We do not disclose whether she was engaged in premarital relationships and had one or multiple boyfriends. This is something in the past Allah concealed. Now she's
Allah concealed, that's
she's
it.
a hijabi, niqabi, memorizes the Quran.
That's it. She is a holy woman now. She is wearing hijab. Yeah, come on. See what? So you see here the fallacy of Islam. They keep talking about Muslim women. She is a virgin, But when they say that, they don't mean what you think about virgin. Virgin for them means something totally different. She did not get married yet, but she was sleeping with 1,000 men. No problem. She's still a virgin because she did not get married yet. And she don't have to disclose what she did. Same for the man. So she wear hijab, she wear Islamic dress, she act like an angel in front of the guy is coming to ask for her hand, and she is now, oh sorry, I have to go because it's time for prayer now. Oh sorry, I cannot drink tea now because I'm fasting. Wow, this woman, she is so holy. And then the guy, he married her. After he married her, she told him, maybe when he was doing sex, having sex, she said to him, you are the best of the effers. Maybe you are the one who do it better. Maybe the previous one, you remind me of him. You know, like you never know what she said. So she confessed that she have many boyfriends before. And he is now, the sheikh is schooling this stupid Muslim who do not know what virgin means in Islam. In Islam, virgin does not mean a woman she never had sex before. No. It means only that she never get married before.
For a woman, so one says, but Sheikh, repented to Allah Azza wa Jal, and he started growing a beard and acting like a proper Muslim. Once he proposed, is he obliged to tell anyone? The answer is no, it's not. He's obliged, he's prohibited from telling anyone. After marriage, he feels so close to his wife, he wants to confess. It is totally prohibited. If you do, you're sinful, Allah will not forgive your sins. Because this is the hadith. Likewise for a woman. So one says, but Sheikh, I'm a virgin, I want to marry a virgin girl. Well, the definition of virgin in Islam is a woman who's not married. In a marriage contract, we have bikr and thayyib, a virgin and someone who was previously married. So a virgin is a one disclosed whether she was engaged in premarital relationships and had one or multiple boyfriends. This is something in the past Allah concealed. Now she's a practicing woman, she's a hijabi, niqabi, memorizes the Quran. She's one of the sweetest people you may ever encounter. So she must not tell anyone, no matter how far or close, or even hint about it. If after marriage you discover by a mistake of this woman or by any other means that she is not as you have thought her to be, Allah Azza wa Jal forgives major sins. Allah forgives shirk for those who repent. How wouldn't we as humans have the ability to also forgive and pardon and move on? If she checks all the boxes, she's clean, she's pure, she's hijabi, she's practicing, she prays on time.
Here you see how Islamic religion, is very lousy. In the appearance, they claim that they are conservative, and now he's talking about forgiveness. Well, as long you claim about forgiveness, so how come if we cut the same woman you are talking about, we have to whip her back 100 times? Do you see the fallacy of this cult? So if we cut her doing the act, we are going to beat the hell of her and we whip her back with 100 lashes. So if you commit what is supposedly a crime, but you conceal it and nobody knows about it, you are a good person. And Allah is all merciful. Which one of them is true? Allah is all merciful, or we whip the back of the person if we cut him? Why we don't do Allah is all merciful when they do it? Then when a Muhammadan he speak about Allah is all merciful is a big fat fallacy. But the reason for them now to conceal what's going on, because those Muslim men are so arrogant, and you don't want to go out in the street and say, well, I found that my wife, she screwed everybody in town. In fact, she was the bike of the town. And you know what? I'm going to divorce her. So in order to keep his name appear fine in the front of a society, he swallowed what his wife she was doing. In fact, how a Muslim man even can prove that his wife she was cheating? It's impossible. Or she is cheating now. If a man he come to the house, he need to find 4 witnesses, and the 4 witnesses they have to see the private part of the man going in and out. Do we have any serious Muslim here, not a kid, wanna join us? So now she prayed, that's it, she is a good person now, you know. What about you do the same for someone who did something wrong? Okay, what if Allah is all merciful, why you are going to stone a woman to death? Oh, just because you cut her doing it? So if she did not, nobody know it, she should not say, she should not tell, and Allah is all merciful. In fact, this woman here, she is more decent than the woman she was caught, because she is herself voluntarily, she is telling her husband what she did. Do we have any Muhammadan? Allah is all merciful. Big fallacy. Since when? Aren't you Muslim? You cut the hand of a person for stealing an egg? Is that mercy? Egg. In the same time, Muhammad is the biggest thief in history. He stole wives from their husbands. He stole money. He stole property. He stole gold. He tortured people to tell them where they hide his money, their money. And then if a person stole an egg, we cut his hand. Do we have any Muhammadan? This is the link for the video if you wanna save it. So if somebody argue with you about Muslim women being a virgin, tell him this is what virgin mean. Virgin in Islam does not mean she did not sleep around. No, she slept with a lot of men, but she did not get married yet. Any Muhammadan? Who is a Muslim would like to join us? Do we have any virgin Muslim? I keep cutting off. Guys, is my voice coming good? What about in YouTube and Rumble? Am I heard good? So when you see those women wearing hijab and you know all this act, it's just a fake. You know, I grew up in the Middle East. When I was in the university, I mean, I saw all kind of things you can't even imagine. Even they have a group sex, not even a guy and a woman together alone. Group sex. And then the girl who just to participate in a group sex, she go out in the street, she have thick eyebrows because she don't take hair from her face, she wear a hat under the hijab because she should not show the hair, even the shadow or the shade of it. So there's a hat under the hijab to be sure that the hair will not be seen through the hijab. This is how conservative they are. Group sex. Not a man and a women alone. Do we have any Muhammadan? His wife is a virgin. So those, you know, people like, I don't like to talk about women of people, but Muslims in general, like Mimi Hijab, Lili Dawah, their wives wear hijab, etc. Well, they are virgin. When they get married, they are virgins. Any Muhammadan from the virgin cult? Anyone? Do we have any virgin? Any female virgin? Any female Muslim virgin? I like your virginity style. So you have multiple boyfriends and you did a lot of boom boom, but you wear hijab and you can lie. You don't have to say anything. You can say you're a virgin. In fact, you're a virgin. As you see, the word virgin does not mean she did not sleep around. The word virgin in Islam means she did not get married before. That's it.
Was in Las Vegas, and all of a sudden he repented to Allah Azza wa Jal. That you've repented is sinful. There's no way out of it. There's no doubt among any scholar of Islam. They all agree that it is not permissible to disclose your previous sins that you've repented from. So if a man was a playboy, spending his time between Monte Carlo, Nice, Cannes, and casinos in Las Vegas, and all of a sudden he repented to Allah Azza wa Jal, and he started growing a beard and acting like a proper Muslim. Once he proposed, is he obliged to tell anyone? The answer is no, it's not. He's obliged, he's prohibited from telling anyone.
Prohibited, see?
After marriage, he feels so close to his wife, he wants to confess. It is totally prohibited. If you do, you're sinful. Allah will not forgive your sins.
You're stupid. You see, you're sinful. If you
Likewise
tell
for
your
a
wife,
woman. So one says, but Sheikh, I'm a virgin.
guys, if a man he tell his wife what he did in the previous to his marriage, he is very, very sinful, and Allah will not forgive him for doing that. Did you hear it? Same for the Muslim women. She should not tell the husband what she did previously. If she do that, Allah will not forgive her. Did you hear it?
It's not, he's obliged, he's prohibited from telling anyone. After marriage, he feels so close to his wife, he wants to confess. It is totally prohibited. If you do, you're sinful. Allah will not forgive your sins.
See?
Because this is the hadith. Likewise for a woman. So one says, but Sheikh, I'm a virgin. I want to marry a virgin girl. Well, the definition of virgin in Islam is a woman who's not married. In a marriage contract, we have bikr and thayyib, a virgin and someone who was previously married. So a virgin is a one who did not marry before. We do not disclose whether she was engaged in premarital relationships and had one or multiple boyfriends. This
Are you there, Muslims? This is your virgin girls? Huh? Let me search online for Muslim girls. Muslim girls with hijab. They are so holy, brother. They are very holy. Brother, they are very, very, very virgin. Multiple boyfriend, no problem. She's still virgin. So what if she have multiple boyfriend? They get it wrong. When we say virgin, oh, look how cute they are. Look how shy she is. Look, she is so shy. She is a very, very innocent. Like she never saw anything. Very shy, you know, and they are happy too. Muslim women always happy. Look, she is covering her face because she is so good. She is very decent. Yes, multiple boyfriend play with her private part, but guess what? She cover her face. Yes. Yeah, I'm telling you. So you got it wrong. This is beautiful, brother. Those are very virgin girls. Not like those girls in the West. Yeah. All of them, they are virgin. You know what we used to in the Middle East, that a Muslim woman, she will be the bike of the town for a century, and then when she become like her news become all over, and everybody know that she is a whore, suddenly she wear hijab. Suddenly she is a very decent woman, and this is something you see all over Islamic countries. All Islamic countries, they do the same. A belly dancer, alhamdulillah, she become a Muslim now, but she's a Muslim, she's born of a Muslim family. No, now she become a Muslim because now she is wearing hijab. So by the way, as long as she did never get married before, she can claim to be a virgin. So in the marriage contract is going to say she is a virgin. You heard the sheikh, he was saying there is two words, either you say thayyib or bikr. Bikr means she did not get married before. This is what the virgin mean for them. Does not mean she did not have sex. You got it wrong. Oh, those, look, they have arrows. Those Muslim girls, they are shooting at the to hunt a husband. Whew. That's deep. Very deep. All of those are virgins. The biggest virgin religion in the world. All women are virgin, as you see. As long as they did not get married before, they are virgin. Muslims, am I lying? Muslims, anyone can say I'm lying? I have evidence in front of you. How many of you saved the link I shared with you guys? Let me share it with people in Rumble. What is the video? Hold on.
Past, Allah can see.
Shut up. Let us copy it and give it to Rumble. Any Muhammadan version? We welcome all kind of virgin Muslim men and virgin Muslim women. They are virgin. But now you know that the word virgin means something totally different from what you think. Any Abdul? So this is one of the big fallacy of the garbage of Islam. They speak about virginity. You see, Muslim, they use words we use. Like Islam is against thief, like theft, but Islam teach you to be a thief. So you can steal from non-Muslims, but you can't steal from Muslims. So they use the same word we use, but no. A Muslim, he is encouraged to steal from non-Muslims, but he is not allowed to steal from a Muslim. A Muslim is forbid to do fornication. However, there is many practice of Islam, it's nothing but fornication, including marriage, because marriage is a contract of sex, not contract of marriage in Islam. In fact, even they call it nikah, which means F her. This is what nikah mean. This is why Muhammad, he says, when women they have menstruation, do with them everything except nikah, which means intercourse. F word. Any Muhammadan? Who is a Muhammadan version? Do we have any version Muslim from Indonesia? Invite Indonesian people for me. I want Indonesian version sheikhs. Even if a Muslim woman, she is a virgin, I would like to talk to her. I like to talk to virgin people. In fact, from the oil in the market, I buy only virgin oil. I'm serious. Today I use virgin oil, and I made the chicken and potato, and I make yogurt by myself, by the way. See, I do not need a virgin in my home. As long as I have virgin oil, who cares? I mean, when you marry a Muslim woman, she will tell you, oh, like there's a joke, an Islamic joke. It's dirty. I'm not going to tell it to you because all of you are like not even 6 years old, which is the age of maturity in Islam, especially for females. As Aisha, she get married at the age of 6. In fact, she was dating at the age of 4. They get horny so easy, you know. At the age of 4, she was doing boom boom. So a guy, he came to his friend. He's so proud. He says, "Man, I'm so happy to find my woman. I will marry to her soon. She never even been touched by a man." The guy, he said, "Are you serious? Are you sure?" He said, "Yeah. She told me, man." So anyway, it's a dirty joke. I don't know. I should say it to you. I don't know. It's election day. You might not vote for me tomorrow. Anyway, so he told him to spray something on it, and he told him to turn the light off when he get his clothes off. He sprayed phosphor. So he turned the light off. He took off his clothes, and she saw something so shiny, and she said, "I swear by Allah, from all the penises I saw in my life, I never saw something like this." Oops. She told him she's a virgin, but she never saw something like that. Any Abdul? Virgin, huh? All of you are virgins. Prophet Muhammad was a virgin too. Any Muhammadan? Don't post stupid pictures in Discord. Any Muhammadan? Any version? So now do you understand that the meaning of everything the Muslim they say? The Muslim, they say to you they love Isa. Isa is not Jesus. Secondly, they hate Jesus. That's why they kill the Christians. They make fun of Jesus. Muhammad, he said he is going to have sex with the mother of Jesus. But they go in the mosque in the front of American, and they say to them, "Oh, we Muslims love Jesus more than you." Do you know that even in the Quran we have a chapter for Mary, and we say that Mary is a virgin? So now Mary is a virgin in the Quran, have different meaning from Mary as a from Muslim women as a virgin. Why? Because in the Quran it says that no man touched Mary. No man. But Muslim women, when they say they are virgins, they are not saying that men did not have sex with them. They are saying they did not get married before. Somebody saying CP without hadiths is nothing. That's very stupid of you, because Islam without hadith is nothing. When you say CP without hadith, as if you are saying Islam without hadith, which means without Muhammad, because hadith is what Muhammad said. This is how naive and dummy you are. So you are saying to us that the one who use what your prophets say is being stupid. We should not listen to Muhammad. He's a donkey. So the Prophet of Islam, according to you, is a donkey, and the one who listened to the donkey Muhammad is nothing. Thank you very much. Any Abdul? Who is a Muhammad and would like to join us? And don't worry, we will not ask you if your wife she was a virgin when you married her. From now on, anytime a Muslim man or a Muslim girl she speak about herself that she is a virgin, you better show them the video and what virgin mean. Muslim women, she don't even need and should not, in fact, say how many men she slept with. She should continue lying, saying that she is a virgin. We heard the sheikh. Giros wanted to join. Giros? Okay, Giros, you can come. Put your hand up, Giros. Who's holding you? Put your hand up so I invite you. Look like he's afraid to come. I think he is a virgin. Or she is a virgin, I'm not sure. By the way, Allah is virgin, never get married before. But it did not mean he did not have sex with men. Because if you remember, the Quran says, had we willed to have a wife, we will chosen it from ourselves. So Allah don't have a wife, but does not mean he did not have sex. Any Abdul? Come on, Muslims. I went live because you know, we are done with the election is tomorrow, and Kamala Harris, Kamala Harris, she is a virgin too, by the way. She is a Muslim virgin, and in Michigan, she have a message for the Muslims that she will support the state of Palestine, but in Pennsylvania, she will support the state of Israel. I mean, that is something.
الو السلام عليكم.
Assalam, assalam.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. You are a Muslim, my friend?
Yes.
All right.
Alhamdulillah.
All right. Can you say Shahada to be sure that you are a Muslim?
Yeah, Habibi Christian Prince. I told you you're gonna pay me or no?
All right. Yeah, I felt right away that just as guys, don't invite a trollers. Anyone who do trolling, just ban him, block him. Block him. Do we have any Muslim? Any Muhammadan? A Muslim, he called himself God is one in YouTube. I mean, I can prove to you that in Islam the God is not one. That is a big fat lie, you Muslim, you say. Are you sure that Allah is one? Join us, you will find out in 2 seconds that Allah is not one. That's a big fat lie. Any Muhammadan? Sheikh Asim, he gave us some jewelry today that you can have sex with 1,000 men if you are a female. Still you are a virgin. And if somebody came to marry you, you tell him you are a virgin. It doesn't matter how many men you sleep with. Who care? That is not what make you not a virgin. Virgin Islam mean only that you did not get married before. That's it. And nobody should force you to say how many 100 men or 1,000 men you did cuckoo cuckoo, cuckoo with him. In fact, if you say how many men you sleep with, you are committing a great sin. Allah will not forgive you.
There's no doubt among any scholar of Islam. They all agree that it is not permissible to disclose your previous sins that you've repented from. So if a man was a playboy, spending his time between Monte Carlo, Nice, Cannes, and casinos in Las Vegas, and all of a sudden he repented to Allah Azza wa Jal, and he started growing a beard and acting like a proper Muslim. Once he proposed, is he obliged to tell anyone? The answer is no, it's not. He's obliged, he's prohibited from telling anyone.
Prohibited.
After marriage, he feels
He prohibited. You are prohibited to say that you did this, to be honest. You should lie. You should say, I never touch a woman. Same for the women. It is prohibited for her to tell the guy who want to marry her that she slept with 10,000 men. No, she should tell him that she is a virgin. I mean, not virgin the way Muslim they think, the way we think. And no man ever touch her. Her skin never been in touch even by anything, not even a fly.
feels so close to his wife, he wants to confess. It is totally prohibited. If you do, you're sinful. Allah will not forgive your sins, because this is the hadith. Likewise for a woman.
See, if you include your like if you say your sin, you confess your sin, Allah will not forgive you. You made a big mistake. Allah is upset.
So one says, but Sheikh, I'm a virgin, I want to marry a virgin girl. Well, the definition of virgin in Islam is a woman who's not married. In a marriage contract, we have bikr and thayyib, a virgin and someone who was previously married. So a virgin is a one who did not marry before. We do not disclose whether she was engaged in premarital relationships and had one or multiple boyfriends. This is something in the past Allah concealed. Now she's a...
Listen, Muslim women, let me introduce myself. I'm Christian Prince and I'm virgin. Okay? And I'm looking for 4 virgin women who they had multiple boyfriends before. I prefer, because that means they have better experience in bed. But remember, you have to be virgin, okay? Like, it doesn't matter how many boom boom you did, but as long as you're a virgin, that is the most important thing, because that makes you a decent woman. Just to dress hijab, and there's no need for the panty. We go to business right away. Do we have any Muslim virgin here? Huh? Any Muhammadan virgin? Nobody? All of you are virgin. Come on. Come on, Muslim women. What's wrong? And now every Muslim man listening to this guy, he will ask himself, man, we got screwed. How many guys my wife she did before she married me, and she lied to me saying that she is a virgin, look like they have to, they are allowed to lie. They are very much virgin. Any Abdul from Virginia? Now I know why the Muslim they used to watch a series, American series called El Virgini. Anyone know El Virgini? Cowboy? Because they like virginity. All of them, they are virgin. So Sheikh now, the wife, so the guy now, he got his wife, she had multiple boyfriend, and she did a lot of boom boom. Boom boom, left, right, up, down, you name it, you know. So now what the solution? Tell him what we should do.
She's a practicing woman, she's a hijabi, niqabi, memorizes the Quran.
She memorized the Quran, so what? I mean, come on. If her legs was open, but she memorized the Quran, which one is more important? The Quran.
She's one of the sweetest people
She's the sweetest too. Isn't it Prophet Muhammad? He said, "You taste her sweet orgasm, and she tastes your sweet orgasm." Here we go. She is the sweetest.
May ever encounter. So she must not tell anyone, no matter how far or close, or even hint about it.
Not even her parents.
If after marriage you discover by a mistake of this woman or by any other means that she
Brother, forgive her. Do we have any Abdul? Anyone? How many of you save this link? Because always you might meet some Muslim says, "Oh, our Muslim women, they are virgins." You give him this video and tell him this is what virgin mean in Islam. Virgin does not mean she did not have sex. Virgin means she have million guy in bed, but yet she is not. She had not get married before. That's what the word virgin Islam mean. And a Muslim woman, she have a duty to lie to you and to say she never have sex before. As you heard him, he said, if she say, Allah will not even forgive her. Any Abdul? You see, this is why relationship in Islam is based on lying to each other. Muhammad, he says, a Muslim man, he can lie in 3 cases: to his wife, and the wife to her husband, to his friends, and to his enemies. Who is left? Nobody. So now the wife, she can lie to you. She slept with a billion guy. Maybe she slept with your brother before. Maybe she slept with your dad. Maybe she slept with your friends, all of them. Maybe. But you ask her, she will say to you, she is so virgin. She is so shy. She never knew anything. She never saw anything. Anyone from the virgin community? They put the hijab and they try to present themselves that they are conservative. This is the most lousy sexual society. They are the same as the Democratic Party in America. They want to have sex and do abortion. By the way, Muslim women who have sex with a lot of men, how they stay without babies? Abortion. For sure they do it secretly. There's no need to say any Syrian girls, any Lebanese girls. If you say that, I will block you. We are talking about Islam. This has nothing to do with certain citizenship. Don't be stupid. Maybe you do not know, in those countries there's many Christians too. Do we have any Muhammadan? Any Abdul? The link for the sheikh, this is the link for the sheikh. I give it to you for free. Next time you have to pay for it. Because this link can make your virgin again. I said Persian? No, I did not. I did not even say the word Persian at all. I said virgin. I did not say the word Persian for the last month. Satan, he pee in your ear. Any Muhammadan? If Prophet Muhammad, he is around, please, I would like to talk to him. Because remember, Prophet Muhammad, he said that every one of you, he pray on Friday, his prayer will be submitted to me. That means alive. Is that true, Muslims? Who is a virgin Muslim would like to join us? If you are a virgin Muslim or previously married Muslim, you are welcome. We have a guy, his name is Kario. He's saying you are right. In Islam, no place for idiots. Abdul Kario, Islam is the religion of idiots. You Muslim, look, just to show you how stupid this guy is. We just showed you that the guy, his wife, she screwed 10,000 men. And the sheikh is saying that this is not she's still a virgin. Your wife, she's still a virgin, even if she slept with a billion man. And you are talking Islam is no place for idiot. Islam is made by an idiot for the idiot. If your wife, she been caught having sex with your neighbor, you have to bring 4 witnesses, and they have to see his penis going inside her vagina, in and out. If the 4 witnesses did not see it, even if she is naked, even if he is naked, even if in the top of her, even if she is in the top of him, still there's no proof that she was fornicating. So Islam is religion for idiots. Because the idiot to you is still you have 4 witnesses watching your wife having sex, and she is naked and the guy opening her legs, and still according to your idiot prophet there's no proof that she is fornicating. And you are saying to me in Islam there's no place for idiots? So guys, imagine you go to your bedroom, you find your wife here. The story, anyone have the link? Post the story. Umar al-Khattab, they brought him a guy, 4 guys. 4 guys, they saw a man having sex with the women. Umar, he asked the first man, did you see his penis going in her vagina like a pin going in the inkwell? He said, yes, Caliphate of Allah. He asked the second person, did you see his penis going in her vagina the same as a pin going in the inkwell? He said, yes, I swear by Allah. He asked the third one, the same question, did you see his penis going in her vagina the same as a pin going in the inkwell? He said, yes, I swear by Allah. He asked the fourth one, did you see his penis going inside the vagina like a pin in the inkwell? He said, no. I saw her feet around his neck, and they were shaking like when a donkey, like the ear of a donkey when he is running. The Caliphate said, Takbir, false accusation. There's no fornication, no proof. What the heck? Because the fourth one, he did not see the penis going in. Even though her legs around his neck, her feet around his neck, and the guy is like humping, and her feet is shaking like an ear of a donkey as I described, but still according to the Caliphate, there's no proof. What is the proof? What is the proof? There's no proof. Abdul, 3 men, they saw his penis going in and out. Okay, still there's no proof. Because we need 4 witnesses. The fourth, he did not see the penis. He saw her legs around his neck, and her feet were shaking like the ear of a donkey when he's running. Obviously, there's no sex, brother. And to make it more horrible, now the man who accused his wife that she is fornicating, they'd whip his back, for he is falsely accusing his wife. So imagine you have 4 witnesses. You brought, by the way, you don't count. You have bring four guys, not you. 4 guys, and you are number 5. All of them, they are watching your wife being effed. And now, because number 4, he did not see the penis going in, they will whip them all, the husband and the witnesses. They will be beaten 100 times. Because the brother, they accuse a decent Muslim woman of fornication. A decent woman, there is no proof that she was fornicating. That's why, which Muslim man he dared to accuse of his wife of fornication? You need to bring for men. And you know, in fact, there's a hadith. Look at this, Muhammad. Look at the ayat, Muhammad.
Is not a
Shut up, shut up. A man, he came to Muhammad and he told him, if I find my wife and a man in the top of her, shall I give him some time? To bring 4 witnesses? Prophet Muhammad said yes. This is a guy, he knew his wife is a cheating. She is the bike of the town. And now he's afraid to accuse her of a cheating because he need to find 4 witnesses. So he said to the messenger, what do you think if I find my wife, with my wife a man? So he find a man with his wife, right? Should I give him some time until I bring 4 witnesses? The Prophet said yes. Do you see it? So now you go to the bedroom, you find a guy in the top of your wife, you say, brother, can you please wait? I need to call brother Ahmed, brother Zakir Naik, and brother Sabil Ali, and brother Mimi Hijab. So they come, and brother, when they come, please be sure that there is a distance between you and her so we can see the penis going in and out. Don't get too close where you cannot see, okay? And don't let her sit in the top of you in that position, because then we cannot see anything. Brother, please, we need to see the penis, brother. Otherwise, we have no proof. This is religion. No cheating in Islam, no cheating. Because it's impossible to prove that cheating. And if you accuse her she cheated, they will beat the hell of you. They will whip you back. Because you did not provide 4 witnesses who saw his penis going in and out. Any Abdul? Should we buy a product with halal mark on it? If you buy a halal mark in something, you are paying for it. So you are supporting the mosque, you are supporting Islamic Mujahideen, you are supporting Islamic Quran. This is what they do with the halal mark. The halal mark, companies, when they put it, they don't put it for free. They have to pay for it to the Islamic Center. It's a huge business. A Christian person, first, he is not allowed to eat food slaughtered in the name of a pagan god like Allah. So if you buy halal food, you are committing sin. You shall not. This is number 1. You shall not, because this is, you know what halal mean? Halal mean that when they slaughter the animal, they say Allahu Akbar. This is what halal mean. If they slaughter a chicken, or a cow, or a sheep, or a goat, or a camel, or whatever, they say Allahu Akbar. So when you eat this meat, you are eating a meat slaughtered for a pagan god. And we have tons of verses in the Bible saying you cannot do that. That's number 1. Number 2, the halal mark is money collected to support terrorism and support building mosque and to spread Islam. So you pay from your money when you eat halal food to sponsor Islam. Do we have any Abdul? Any Muslim version? I like this video actually.
Say, Akhi, when you repent to Allah and you conceal what Allah has concealed, it is sinful. There's
Brother, Allah has concealed or you concealed? So now if I go and sleep with the women, this is Allah concealed. Are you serious? If a man he go and rape someone and nobody find out about it, Allah concealed that? I mean, do you see this religion? So you should conceal it. You should not tell people about your sin. It's the opposite of Christianity, that you have to confess your sin. Do you see the difference? In Christianity, you have to come out and say the truth about it, so you can be truthful. If you are truthful about you will not do what you were doing, then say what you were doing. Humble yourself. In Islam, no. In Islam, if you confess your sin, you are committing a great sin. Allah will not forgive you if you tell people what you did.
no way out of it. There's no doubt among any scholar of Islam.
Somebody saying how to avoid eating halal food in a Muslim, have majority Muslims. I grew up in the Middle East, and always you can find a butcher who is a Christian. Very simple. Or you grow your own chicken. Now for sure vegetables does not make any difference, because vegetables is not a halal food. We are talking about meat. Grow your chicken. There's many ways. Buy pork. That is for sure is not halal for them. You know. Yeah. There's many ways to do it. And you know, Islamic countries, there's everything. I mean, yeah. Like in the Middle East, usually the stores who sell liquors are Christians, but the one who drink it and buy it are Muslims. Go check it out. Most of a Christian in the Middle East, they don't really drink much. Or me myself, I don't drink. The only time I drink, and this is like I decide to do, if I am flying, if I want to drink, I drink little wine, because I don't drink, it make me sleepy very fast. It's just to help me to sleep, because I have very difficult time to sleep. I don't sleep easy. I have to get really tired to sleep. But because I don't drink, if I drink little wine when I am in the airplane, it helps me to sleep. That's it. So I drank wine when I was flying last time. I will not drink wine until I fly again. Maybe a year from now. That's it. But the one who buy the wine and the one who drink like elephants are the Muslims. If you were a Muslim, you could pretend to be Christian, right? What does that mean? If you were a Muslim, you could pretend to be Christian. You mean practicing taqiyya? Yeah, Muslim, they are allowed to lie.
They all agree that it is not permissible to disclose your previous sins. That
All the Muslim scholars agree it's not permissible for you to disclose your previous sin. You should lie. Which means, guys, in order to do that, what you have to do? You have to lie, right? Which means you have to do more sin in order to cover the previous sin. So each time somebody asks you, and we are talking about a guy who want to marry you, not a guy in the street, he have no business with you, you know? A business in like a man in the street is asking a woman, have you before any relation? That's none of your business. But this is a guy you are going to marry to. So now The woman, she will spend her life lying, which means she is doing more sin for the rest of her life because she is prohibited from disclosing and confessing her sin. Allah forbid you, brother.
To disclose your previous sins that you've repented from. So if a man was a playboy, spending his time between Monte Carlo, Nice, Cannes, and casinos in Las Vegas, and all of a sudden he repented to Allah Azza wa Jal, and he started growing a beard and acting like a proper Muslim. Once he proposed, is he obliged to tell anyone? The answer is no, it's not. He's obliged, he's prohibited from telling anyone.
See?
After marriage,
Prohibited.
he feels so close to his wife, he wants to confess. It is totally prohibited. If you do, you're sinful. Allah will not forgive your sins.
See? Islam is satanic cult. It's totally the opposite of Christianity. In Christianity, you confess your sin. In Islam, if you confess your sin, Allah will never forgive you. Did you hear it? This is the garbage of Islam. And a woman is called virgin in Islam does not mean she never have sex. It means she have a lot of sex with a lot of men. But the word virgin in Islam means she did not get married before. Put that in your mind from now on. If a Muslim he speak to you about this, correct him. Don't lie to us. Virginity in Islam does not mean at all that she did not have sex. In fact, she had a lot of sex, but she did not get married.
Because this is the hadith. Likewise for a woman. So one says, but Sheikh, I'm a virgin. I want to marry a virgin girl. Well, the definition of virgin in Islam is a woman who's not married. In a marriage contract, we have bikr and thayyib, a virgin and someone who was previously married. So a virgin is a one who did not marry before.
See?
We do not disclose whether she was engaged in premarital relationships and had one or multiple boyfriends. This
Virgin, virgin, where are you? Every man looking for you. You have multiple boyfriend, but still you are virgin. And your private part, even though it is so used like a barbecue. Virgin, virgin, where are you? Your private part is a barbecue. Everybody would put there his steak. And you never take a break. But don't forget, Allah will take any lie you say for his sake. Virgin, virgin, how you do? Shame on Muhammad, shame on you. What a nice religion. Beautiful, beautiful. This is the virginity we are looking for. And by the way, in case you do not know, Muslims, women, they are obligated to shave their vagina. It's a must. The funny is that she have to shave her vagina, but she cannot take hair from her face. Because if she take hair from her face, she is evil and Allah will curse her. Isn't this weird? You take hair from your vagina, but you cannot take hair from your face? You ask the Muslim why, you will say, oh, because if she take hair from her face, that means she changed the way Allah He made her look like. Well, taking hair from your vagina doesn't change the way Allah make you look like. I mean, do you see the stupidity of this garbage cult and their logic? If you see a Muslim woman, her eyebrows is done, you can tell. She have no hair in her face. You can tell she is not practicing Islam. A woman who practice Islam literally, she should have you, especially if she's a Middle Eastern. You know, Middle Eastern are hairy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Asian women usually don't have too much hair, maybe, and Asian men. I see Asian men mostly don't have even a beard. But when it's come to us, Middle Eastern, even our women, they have mustache. Some of them, they have beard. So if a Muslim woman, she have really literally mustache, that means she is following the teaching of a prophet of Allah, literally. If you see her eyebrows is done, there's no hair in her face, obviously she is faking it. The same way she fake her virginity. Do we have any virgin Muslim women? Any Abdul? Anyone? No virgins. Well, it sounds like a good news. No more virgin women, Muslim women. The only virgin we have is Kamala Harris. This is a virgin for sure. She slept with every guy, rich guy in San Francisco to get her first job. She slept the whole California rich men to get the second job. She is a very virgin. And then she married a Jew in order to become politically accepted. And then she claimed to be Christian, yet she have a Hindu dot in her forehead. What the heck? They are so virgin. Trump or Biden? For sure I will vote for Trump. Biden, the pervert. Democrat is the party of pervert in my eyes. Satanic party. Yeah, I saw that girl. She is walking around with her panty. I saw the news. But, you know, I have to say that this is a very... obviously, this girl, she have a mental issue, you know. I feel sorry for her. That is not appropriate first, not right. It doesn't matter where you do it. Like if you do it even in America. But it is very stupid to do it in Iran. This is not how you oppose hijab. This is very stupid. She sounds like a, you know, stupid liberal for me. Not smart. Liberals are stupid. Liberals are not. You see, this is not how you fight for freedom. This is a clear sign of stupidity. Now they will take her. They will rape her. I guarantee you, they will rape her. They will take her to the police station. They will take off her panty, and every policeman in the station will rape her. And then they will take her to the National Guard. And then every 1,000 men there, they will rape her. This woman, she destroyed herself. But do you think they will arrest her only? Especially after what she did? They will say, okay, you have no problem to take off your clothes? Take it off. Even they rape men in Iran. Anyone who opposes the Islamic government, they rape them, even men. So they can make them feel like down. They destroy them. This is part of their practice of torture. Tomorrow I will vote. The first thing I will do in the morning. Somebody saying, when was the Trinity revealed and confirmed to the humans? That's very funny of you, because if you read the first page in the Bible, you will see the Trinity. You are ignorant. Do we have any Abdul? A virgin one? Trump is the dream if the man of CP dreams. You sound like a gay, Marty. Are you? Your expression sound like a gay. Trump is the dream man of CP. What a stupid statement. Any Muhammadan? I mean, when you come in the internet, you will meet all kind of awkward people, you know. Well, you never know you are talking to the one who is taking his medicine, the one is smoking marijuana, the one is taking cocaine, the one is high and naked in the top of his table, and the one he is drinking from his piss, thinking that it is beer. So you never know what you meet here. This is why get ready when you go online. Don't get upset from comment of people, because you will find a lot of stupid, crazy people, you know. Like I know one of my cousins, his name is Mohammed. He's very heavy sleeper, but sometimes he come here to the chat. So anyway, he was asleep. He woke up. He went to the bathroom to pee. He pee and he came back. And then before he put his head, he remembered something. So he asked his wife, she was sleeping next to him. He said to her, honey, when we open the door of the bathroom, do the light come on automatically? She said, no, honey, that is the refrigerator. So my cousin, like many people here, they go and piss in the refrigerator and they think it's a bathroom. They are not even in this world. Potatoes. Get ready for the silly comments. The one who called himself S, he said, about a century later, in the 325 First Council of Nicaea. You see how stupid you are. In the council, they have a debate not about even the Trinity, you donkey. It's about if Jesus was created or not, which means if there is a point of him to come to existence, not about the Trinity. This is number one. Number two, we have the Old Testament, you donkey, long, and the Old Testament and the Gospel written way before 300 years. This is when we have a debate we are debating about between the Christians. So again, you are so stupid. This is not when the Trinity came to exist. Donkeys, Muslims, all of you are donkeys. I have no respect to donkeys. All of you are a bunch of donkeys. I cannot even find one Muslim being decent when you speak about the Bible. Isn't it the gospel of, which one is exists for? The gospel of John or the Council of Nicaea? I mean, do you see how stupid you are? You Muslims are donkeys. Even the stupid Quran take the name of the Gospel of John, Injil, and he put it as a name for it in the Quran. Donkeys. And your stupid Muhammad in the Quran, he confirmed the Gospel. What about you join me in the stage? They love to lie. Or, in the best scenario, they are copy-paste. The Prophet, he shake his penis 3 times. Every Muslim shake it 3 times. But nobody asks himself, what if I did 4? What will happen? Is my penis going to come off? Yeah, they have a plastic one. Muslim men are not Muslim. They are not men. Even when they go to war, they hide in the tunnel. Even their Caliphate, Saddam Hussein, he is in the hole. ISIS is in the hole. Hamas is in the hole. Hezbollah is in the hole. All of them is a hole. And they come to school you and teach you. And look, he is saying to you now, understand the Trinity, one God in a 3-person, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, take us into deep theological water. Where is simplest math? Fail. 1 + 1. You see, the stupidity is your stupidity, because if I go with your logic, you are saying 1 + 1 + 1. But did God, he say, I am 1 + 1 + 1, and that will make me 1? So you have a fallacy of logic. The Muslims, when they ask them, is Allah is 1? They say yes. If we ask them, so why Allah, he said, had we will to have a wife, we will take it from ourself. Who is ourself which Allah will marry from? They have no answer. So 1 + 1, Allah plus ourself. How many ourself? It have to be 3 and more. Yet they say Allah is 1. Using your logic, In Christianity, there's no 1 plus 1 plus 1. To make it simple for you, why you don't come to the mic? Let us invite you to the mic so we can laugh. So people can hear you. And get ready. If you're there. I invited you. Come to the mic. Come to the mic. You see, you're a potato. You don't even dare to say your thought. When we say God, we mean Almighty. So the Almighty, He can be 3 and 1. Your God cannot be 3 and 1 because your God go by the mathematics of 1 plus 1 plus 1. My God is above your physics and above your logic. Is it logical for Jesus to raise people from death? No. Well, Jesus is a man. So you stupid Muslims, you say Jesus is a prophet when you want, but then when we ask you how Jesus can raise people from death, they will say permission from Allah, but still it's Jesus who made it happen. They say to you, Jesus is a man. Okay, the man, he cannot create from the mother bird. They say to you, by the leave of Allah. Okay, that means Allah, the one you call him God, he is above logic. So are you speaking about logic or you believe not in logic? Muslims again are a bunch of hypocrites. I have no respect for them. Either you go by logic or you go and say that God is almighty and all the logic goes and demolish when it's come to him. As an example, all the logic demolished when it's come to Jesus. In the Quran, not only in Christianity. Why? Jesus is born without a father. What is the logic in that? You see, I invited him, the coward, he will not join. Who is a Muslim? He dared to come to the mic and tell me what is the logic behind that Jesus is born with no father? What that will do to him as a prophet? Okay, he's a prophet now. Why he need to be born with no father? No Muslim would dare to answer. Fallacy. Bankrupt. The only logic for Jesus not to have a father, it can be found in Christianity. So Muhammad the thief, he stole the story from the Christians, he put it in his Quran, but in his book have no meaning. In Christianity it have a lot of meaning, for he is the Son of God. Right? Didi, she is saying, why are you conservatives so obsessed with sex and who is virgins? Didi, you have a point there. If you are a Democrat, I never saw somebody is a sex maniac as you. You force children to talk about sex. You force girls to dress like boys. You have a whole agenda is a sexual agenda. You forget about economy and you are busy with the bathroom and making men compete in the sport of women. And then you talk about who is obsessed with sex. Your Joe Biden, he put the flag of a homosexual in the White House. And then they accuse us that we are the one who's obsessed with sex. You are nothing but a vagina. Even your party don't see you as a woman. They see you as a vagina. In fact, now they are trying to force people not to use the word women. Use vagina. And don't worry, I'm not worried about you being a virgin. I'm sure you are not. Prophet Muhammad, he says, every woman is written in her vagina the name of her ifers. So I'm sure you have a yellow pages there. Can you check my name, please? If it's there. I want to be sure that I'm not going to have AIDS. Do we have any Abdul? Any Muhammadan? So do you see the hypocrisy of the Muslims when they speak about the Trinity and the logic? What is the logic of Jesus being born with no father? Who is his father? They will say to you, Adam have no father. Stupid. Adam is not born. Are you donkey? Yeah, he's donkey. He's a Muslim. Even the Quran compare between Adam and Jesus, but you cannot compare because Adam is the first man created from mud. Is Jesus created from mud? In fact, according to the Quran, yes, according to the Quran, Jesus was created from mud. This is how stupid the author of the Quran. Any Abdul? So the Trinity, in a very simple way, is the mighty power of God. And when we speak about the might and the might of God, all your stupid logic disappear. When Jesus, he cursed the tree and the tree died. Can I do that? No. Where is the logic in that? When Jesus, according to you, he command the son of Noah to come from the ground after 1,000 of years of being dead, and then the sand come together, and then a man who have a gray hair stand in the front of Jesus. What is the logic of what your prophet cannot do that? Why Jesus can command someone who died 1,000 of years ago to come and speak to him? He command the sand. They just ask him, what happened to Noah and his kids? So Jesus, he commanded the sand in the front of him, which means he can bring you, not because this is not where Sam he died. We don't know where this guy he died. He commanded the sand, and the sand came together, and the man starts speaking to Jesus. What is the logic in that, in your stories? Any Muslim can tell us? Can Allah do what Jesus can do according to Islamic stories? No, he cannot. Muhammad was sick all the time. Allah could not save him. Your prophet, one of his famous names is the fainty prophet. He kept fainting. Even when he was a kid, all his life, he was fainting. Your prophet, he wake up, he faint, he wake up, he faint, he wake up, he faint. Let me introduce the fainty Muhammad. So while Jesus was commanding a person who died 4,000 or 5,000 years ago to come from the grave, Muhammad was fainting. Am I lying? And Abdul is busy asking the Christian about 1 + 1 + 1 is equal to 1. So how many times Prophet Muhammad he fainted? 1 in one story here. 1, he faint every 2 minutes. 1, 2, 3. 1 + 1 + 1 equal to fainted. 1 fainted plus 1 fainted plus 1 fainted equal fainted. I hope my mathematics is working with you. Potato. You want to teach Christians about monotheism? Your God is a monotheist. Your God is not even exist. You don't even know what Allah means. Not a single Muslim can tell you what the word Allah means. This is why, by the way, those guys, they go and debate kids, Christian kids, who know not much about Islam. But even with Christian kids, they cannot do it no more. Because now, many Christians, they have a lot of training. We have tons and thousands of videos showing you the stupidity of Islam. Even our kids, you cannot debate them no more. So who's going to debate a lion? Any hyena? Any hyena want to come and debate me? We spank you, atheists. We spank you, Muslims. We spank you, the Destiny. We spank you, Sabir Ali. We spank you, Mimi Hijab. We spank you, Lady Dawah. We spank Allah. We spank Muhammad. And none of you can refute us. Any Abdul? So today we have no versions. All of them, they are not virgin no more. Anyone? It look like we don't have too many today. Well, I'm not going to keep you longer. Tomorrow, guys, we have election. I'm not going to say I will get up early because I always get up early, actually. I have some birds. I don't know. I think they think I have a bar in front of my window. At 4 a.m. in the morning, they come and they start gossiping about women. The first bird, he said to the second bird, did you see her? Did you see what she did? I told her I will build a nest for you. And because I speak the language of the birds, like Suleiman, I was able to listen to the ants. So the bird, he said to the second bird, what? No way. The other guy, he said, like, which means wow, wow, you know, this is really happening. So every like 4:30 a.m. in the morning, they come in my window. I don't know what is a secret in my window. I mean, can't you wait until 5? What about 5:15? What? No. In a certain time, 4:30, maximum 4:45, those guys, they come in my window. Not even one, not even two, not even three. You can tell, like the whole tribe is there. Why? I have no idea. I thought maybe there's water there. So I flipped, I have like a container for the birds, water. So I flip it out. So no water there. So will not come. Nothing changed. Okay, there's no water. I said, so what is the reason they are coming here? What is the reason? And then after a century, I noticed that I have a cup. It says Starbucks next to the window. It was my mistake. It turned to be that those are birds from the time of Suleiman, and they understand the language of a human being. And they were able to read, even in English, Starbucks. And they were coming in front of my window. True story. Hey Muslim, as long as you speak about logic, Allah, he taught Suleiman the language of the birds, but yet Suleiman, he can hear and listen to the ant, which are deaf and mute. The ant, she said. So Allah taught me the language of the birds. How in the world I'm understanding the language of the ants? And the Abdul is busy with the Trinity. This is the only thing that doesn't work with them. All the madness in the religion, the Trinity doesn't make sense. The guy, he have a flying carpet, can carry 600,000 chairs, and all his kingdom, which according to Muslims is from all the way from Jerusalem all the way to Persia. Can you imagine how big this army is? All of this, and his horses and his equipment and his kitchen and his women, all of them, and his palaces in the top of a flying carpet. A Muslim, he comprehend that there's no problem with the flying carpet carrying the whole kingdom, but he could not understand the Holy Spirit and the Son and the Father. It doesn't make sense. The flying carpet makes sense. The ant is talking. It makes Abdul, ants are mute. Ants are mute. Is there an ant in your pant, Muhammad? All creatures, yes, they communicate. All creatures. But ants don't talk. We can say, we can call it talking. They are talking, but not talking by making voice. They are mute, they are deaf. They cannot hear noise. They communicate by vibration, which means they knock at the body of each other, or by chemical. So they produce chemical, as an example, to make a line to lead where the food is. This is why you see all the ants, and even they are going on top of each other to avoid going out of the line. So when Sulaiman, brother, he arrived to the valley of the ants, one of the ants, she said, look, one of them, Sulaiman, he heard on, there's a trillion ant talking, but Sulaiman was able to focus his radar in one ant. I mean, do you see how unique this is? CIA equipment of Sulaiman? How many billion ant there is in the colony, in the valley of the ant? This is the value of the ant, not only a colony. According to Muhammad, this is where gold and silver is growing. Allah, he grow gold and silver in the valley of the ants, for ants will protect it from any army, because they are massive in number. They would eat you alive. So all those garbage stories is logical for the Abdul, but he cannot swallow the Holy Spirit, the Son, the Father. He cannot accept the Trinity, but he accept all this logic. And what make it more funny, Allah, he taught him the language of the birds. Huh? As you see here in verse number 16. And Solomon, they succeed David, he said, O people, we were taught the language of the birds. Okay, you are taught the language of the birds. How you communicate with the ants? And the funny, if you read the story more, Solomon was flying on the top of the flying carpet, thousands of miles away in the air. How he was able to communicate with the ant? And what make it even more stupid, that the ant, she said to the other ant, enter your nest, otherwise Solomon will crush you. How the ant, she knew his name? Any Muhammadan? What happened to the guy who was talking about logic? He left. The ant, she knew his name. So when I go in my yard, the ant, she see me, she says, CP is coming, CP is coming, let us hide. Are you serious? Or maybe Solomon, he was a celebrity, and those ants, they watch TV. So everybody knows Solomon, come on. He's famous. I mean, even the ants, they know him. He was walking down the street, like walking down the street, la 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 la, Solomon coming away. The ant, hey, girls, boys, Solomon is coming, yes, hide. And then when Solomon, he questioned them, the ant, she said to him, he said to her, why you told the ants I will crush them? Don't you know that I'm just person? She said, oh honey, you got me wrong. I was talking about that when they see the beauty Allah he gave you, they will be crushed by it. The ant will start touching themselves and they will start masturbating. She was talking about their heart will be crushed. Go read the story. The ant, they cannot handle when they see this handsome man coming. Especially most of them, they are females. I mean, come on, we have to face it. Reality check. This is why when a male man, he lay down in the ground, you will see all the ants coming to him. If a female, she would not be bitten by any ant. We men, we are a target because they get horny when they see us. You know? Especially if you have like hairy legs like Joe Biden. Or you have scary legs like Kamala Harris. Imagine, guys, God forbid this woman tomorrow win the election. Unbelievable. This country is doomed. How stupid those Americans. I can't believe that this is going to happen. I don't want to even think about it. You never know, it might happen. Americans are stupid. Literally are very stupid. You American, you will be sorry. I'm not worried about her. She will be a president for other 8 years now, because I'm sure in the 4 years she will collapse everything. But imagine how stupid the Democrat will be 4 years from now. You will look so horrible and your party will be destroyed. However, I hope that tomorrow she will lose. But we have to go and vote. If you are an American, tomorrow you go and vote. Don't think he will win by praying. No. You have to vote. All right? The first thing I do in the morning, I'm going to make my coffee and right away go and vote. And I will go in the voting center and say, Assalamu alaikum, Alhamdulillah. And then the voting center will be empty because they will think Taliban in town. I vote, no busy, nobody in the line, alone. The whole center are for me, brother. I will tell them I'm an Arab American. I'm here to vote, and we believe in democracy. Is that correct, Zakir? Good Prince. First of all, you are making fun of us, and we are in fact the first people who may believe in democracy. Zakir Naik, you are the first people who believe in democracy. Exactly. In fact, Brother Qadhi, he said that the word democracy is an Arabic word. Really? What he said? I remember. Al-Qaddafi, he said that democracy is coming from the word democracy, which means bring the chairs. I mean, this is what he said, by the way. It's true. Al-Qaddafi was making a speech in Africa. He claimed that the word democracy is an Arabic word. And those stupid Western, they don't know what it means. It's mean bring the chairs. Democracy. In the Libyan accent. No comment. And the one is lecturing people about democracy. He chopped the head of anyone disagree with him. Oh boy. The same as the Democrat. If you don't agree with them, they censor you. They block you. They take you to court. They they use every power they have to mute you and silence you. They are the same as Mohammed. Terrorist. The Democratic Party is a party of terrorism. They try to silence, to censor. Not try only, they did. Even Trump, when he was a president, they claimed that Trump would be a dictator when they are the first dictator party in the world. They censor the most powerful man on the earth when he was a president. They close his account in Twitter. They suspend him in Facebook. They freeze his account in YouTube. And yet they claim that Trump is a dictator when it's in fact they are the biggest dictator party ever. It's a sexual party, mental party, have no agenda except sex, transgender, open border, and lose your identity. In simple way, they're trying to destroy America. So we will have a new America, which is going to be China, is going to be India, is going to be Pakistan, is going to be any country, but not this country. This is the plan. They are doing the same what the stupid Roman did to themselves when they used to be an empire. History repeating itself. Anyway, I'm not going to keep you longer. I hope tomorrow we will go live maybe in the afternoon or night, so we can follow together with the election. And we hope that all of you guys will go and vote and do good. And don't cry if you lose, if you don't vote. But if you lose and you voted, at least you did something. You tried. You will feel guilty if you don't vote. So I will go and vote. And let us hope that my vote and your vote will make a difference. All right? Thank you very much for being here and voting for Trump. And Hamala, whatever her name, and her party is the party of evil. I promise you, I will never vote for such a garbage party. This is a garbage party. They call us garbage. In fact, they are the garbage. They never produce something. Not a single thing is good. They want abortion because they want to have fornicate, and they don't want to have take the consequence of having sex. They just want to sleep around like monkeys. They want to just F each other. And then when one of them, she have a baby, oh, I don't like to have a baby, kill him. And they speak for human right. They speak about the disaster in Gaza, but they are #1 human killers in history. Very, very hypocrite. And those who say to you that if a woman she is raped, she cannot do abortion, it's a lie. In every state, those women, they can do abortion. Those women, they are protected. Or a woman, the doctors say she have to do abortion because she will die. They allow that. They lie to you when they say that abortion ban is for everybody. No. So never vote tomorrow for abortion. Never vote for marijuana and smoking hashish, because they will say to you this will make money. But the guy will smoking and driving. So why we suspend somebody from a drinking and driving, but we allow people to drive and smoke? The guy will be high. He will go over you. He will kill your kids. Never vote for anything harm the body of a human being. So no abortion, no drugs, nothing. Anything is bad is bad. It doesn't matter how much they try to justify it. And drugs is bad. Even cigarette is bad. When you legalize marijuana, are you supporting the health of the community? You forbid people from walking in the street because of COVID. And now you want to spread a new COVID. Marijuana, everybody is a smoke, everybody is high. And then people start shooting each other. The father will go high, will rape his daughter. Don't support the devil. They have tons of advertising making you vote for smoking hashish. They are polluting your society and your kids. They are trying to convince you if we allow marijuana, they will not buy different drugs. This is false. You're just polluting the society. Sick people, you know, just sick. For the sake of the greed and money. Because they knew that this business will make a lot of money for big companies. It's the same when a casino company, they put a lot of money behind someone who want to allow them and give them a license to give them a casino. You open a casino in your town. You know what you are doing to your town? You are sucking the money of the poor people, putting it in the pocket of a mafia controlling the casino, and the money will go to banks abroad. Just because you have a politician, they pay him to convince you, to make you fool that we will open a job, it's a casino, we'll bring tourists. But the money will not stay in the town. And what jobs? 200, 300 jobs. How many billion they will take in their pocket from your society? So never vote for a casino. Never vote for gambling. Never vote for drugs. Never vote for abortion. If you do, you are doomed. And never vote for Kamala. I want to see you tomorrow, and I hope tomorrow will bring a good news for us. However, in order to have good news, we have to make the news happen. We better vote, and we pray that tomorrow will bring victory for us. God bless you all, and see you tomorrow. We will stay together during the election time. I'm not sure what time I will be here, but maybe like afternoon. Afternoon we will have a long night, so we can stay together, and we pray that the night will be good news for us. All right. So until we see you tomorrow, leave your comment about the version if you are a virgin, and if you are a Muslim virgin, you can join the club of virginity. And Sheikh Asim, say hello. Take a beer. God is good, so is Jesus. I mean to that. I'll see you soon.